Hello friends, welcome to Magento tutorials. In this video, we will discuss about the factory classes. So what is a factory class, why we need to use it in a Magento, and how to create factory class. The first point is, what is a factory class? Factory class is a class which is used to instantiate an object. That means, for example, whenever you want to instantiate any object, a class should exist. But using this factory class, you don't need to create any extra class for it. Just take any of the class and append that factory to the particular class. So you take product, customer, order, or our custom module. So you can take any class, you just append factory to that particular class. This would become as a factory class. Now let's create one factory class, and I will explain in detail. So go to your module directory, app, code, webdev, hello world. See, whatever the model we created in the last video, we will call this in the controller. Okay, this index. So here we will call the model class. Now we will call the model class in this constructor, and in the execute method, so we will call that model class function. Okay. Webdev hello world is my module, model, data. So in the previous video, we created this data model, right? So we will use this in the constructor and load this file. Okay. So you just add some reference for this class, data factory. So here you have to mention factory if you want to change that to factory. Okay, this way we can set it as a factory class. Okay, whenever you want to do any CRUD operations, you can do that with the factory. Okay, so data factory. So it's just nothing but adding one class to the constructor. Okay. So you see here, I have prepared this underscore data factory. So you have to add it here. Prepared underscore data factory. Okay. Now we have added the class in the constructor. Now we will call whatever the functions available for that model. Okay. So whatever the implementation you want to do, you have to do in the execute method. Okay. Add this one. You have to call this method create. This is the first method that you have to add for this factory. Now store this factory class in a variable. Okay. I will call it as collection. Now, in the last video, we created a students table and connected with the help of resource model, right? Now we will use that students table and get some information from that students table. Okay. So it is a default Magento model function. Whenever you are creating any factories, so it's a default one. You can call this function to get all the data. Okay. Let's store this collection in a separate variable. Okay. This is a default collection method that will help us to call the table data. I told you in the previous video, whenever you add anything in the constructor or change in the constructor, you have to run the di compile. Okay. For that, go to git bash, run Magento setup di compile. Okay. Now the di compile is completed. Now just put die here, because right now we don't want this page. We just need some data. So now let's check that the data is coming from the table or not. Okay. Go to front end, enter this URL. See here, the data is empty. That means there is no data in the students table. Let's check in the database. Students table. So right now the data is empty in this table. So how you can insert the data with the help of factories? For that, just for now, just comment this one. First, we will insert the data. Okay. In Magento, we have an option like calling this table information with the help of setters and getters. Okay, how to call that setters and getters? Right now, we are just inserting the data. That means we are setting the data to the table. So we need to use the set function. Call this factory. It's set. So here you need to pass the column name for that student table. So what is the column names? Student name, student roll number, status, created, updated. You don't need to pass the student ID, created and updated. So it will be automatically updated whenever you insert the record. Okay. Just focus on the student name, roll number, status. Set student name. Check the naming convention. Set this student, S is a capital and N is a capital. Okay. Student name. For now, we will add some static text. Okay, we have added student name, and the next one is student roll number. Student roll number. Okay, you add some text. Okay. Same for the status also. Set status. Status 1. After you added all the columns, and finally you have to save this information with save function. So because we are just setting the information, if you didn't save this information, then it will not save in the database. Okay, for that you have to add the save function. Collection save. Okay, we have added student name, roll number, status. Okay, student name, roll number, student status. So this is a student status. Okay, so whenever we call this class and execute method, then this code will be executed. Okay, so ultimately the student information will be saved in the student table. Okay, now just refresh this page. Hello world index. Okay. It's showing nothing because we are not printing anything. We are just saving data to the table. Check in the database. Just refresh this page. You see student ID, student name, roll number, status, everything is coming. Student ID we didn't insert, created and updated also we didn't insert. It will be automatically inserted whenever you create this row. Okay, like this you can insert the data using the factory class. Okay, now we have some data. So using this data, we will fetch that information, whatever there in this particular table. Okay, we will print the data in the front end. For that, just uncomment this one. So collection, get collection. Using this get collection, you will get all the table information. Go to the front end. Refresh this page again. See here, it should be an array format. Okay, you're just printing the data of the collection object. So whenever you print that, you will get in an array format. If you want to see that in a precise manner, you have to add echo pre before printing. Okay, add this one. So it will add something like this. Okay, it is good to see the particular information. So if you have 100 records, then you can identify easily with the help of this echo pre. So using this echo pre, you can format the table records, okay, for just showing purpose. So in real time, you will not use this. It's just for a development purpose. You will not enable these things in the real time. It's just for development. Okay. So all the data is coming. So this way you can fetch the information from the table. You can insert the table. Now how to delete that table information? For that you have to do, just comment this one. Now we will check the delete. So if you want to delete only one record with student id 2, then how you can do that? Collection, first you have to load the student id. Okay, so this is the student id. Okay, and you have to run this, just add the delete. Okay, for saving add the save function, for deleting just delete. Okay, let's refresh this page. Okay, the query is executed. So we will check that. As we have executed the delete query, this will be removed from this table. Okay, see here the data is empty. That means delete method worked. Okay, this way we can delete the records. For example, if you want to update any records, then for updating at least one record is required. For that I have to reinsert this data again. Okay, comment this one. This page, refresh this one. See, again we have inserted one record to this particular table. Now we will update some data for this particular student. Okay, so for example, if you want to change name for this particular student, okay, how you can do that? We need to run the update query. Okay, so for update the records, let's take this factory class, load the data with id. So with the help of the student id, we will update the record. Load student id and the collection. So it is similar to the insert record. Okay, just I want to update the student name to Magento 2. Okay, now save this one. That's it. Okay, go to front end and check. Refresh this page. Updated query executed. See here, previously it was webdev Chandra. Now it is changed to webdev Magento 2. Okay, like this we can update the record. Okay, in this video we have seen that how to insert a record, how to select a record, how to delete a record, and how to update the record. Okay, in the next video we will discuss about the repositories. Repositories will have the same ability to insert records and update the records and delete the records. Okay, the repositories are similar to the factories, so there will be minor differences between repositories and factories. We will check in the next video. Okay, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.